Welcome to the Wally Report, MMA Savvy exclusive. What up, fight fans? It's your favorite host, Ari Weiss, and I'm going to hit you with another massive MMA Savvy episode. Today, we'll be discussing UFC Fight Night Sandhagen vs. Figueiredo that took place in Des Moines, Iowa on Saturday night. In ceremonial savvy fashion, we'll go through the card, analyze all the big moments, and dissect the official results. So with that, let's go straight to the card and get busy. Man, this is unbelievable here. Let's just take a gander at this. So UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. It was live Saturday night in Des Moines, Iowa. First thing I want to say is thank God it's not the Apex, because I'm so sick. For the savvy fans, they know I've been going on and on about how much I hate the fucking Apex. No energy, no excitement, barely any fans. And now you get a raucous crowd out in Des Moines, baby. So I love it. It was a great matchup. It was a great card, great night of fights, great energy, great excitement. So let's get into this. Before I get to the main card, I just want to give a shout out to our girl, Miesha Tate. We know she's an ex-bantamweight champ that come from behind victory against Holly Holm many years ago in those battles with Ronda. And I just, listen, hats off to Santos, number 10 in the world bantamweight. She took out Miesha. Miesha came out fighting in that first round, and she looked pretty good, but quickly Santos just sort of took over in the end of the first, carried it through the second. Miesha just looked older. I don't think she couldn't stand up with her really anymore, and lost the second round. And then she rallied in the third round. She rallied. She gets the takedown. She gets her back. She's close to a submission, but Santos smart enough to fend it off, to battle her way through, knowing she's already up 2 rounds most likely. And so she gets the decision. But I just wanted to bring it up because it's sometimes nice. You see these old champs from our heyday. They try to make these comebacks. She did look in good shape, but she just doesn't look like she probably has the prowess on the feet to be able to contend with some of these younger contenders. Okay, so let's get into the main card. Man, it was chock full of some crazy action. I'm definitely pumped on this. So Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones opened the night. Of course, they brought in Jeremy Stephens, who is a historic fan favorite of the UFC's. I love the little heathen. Normally, he's at featherweight, but he must have come up to lightweight for this fight because he probably didn't want to do a full weight cut. And it's in his hometown of Iowa, baby. And he came in and listen. Jones wins the fight, obviously, and this guy's maybe scary at lightweight. He looked like a big lightweight. However, Stephens hung in there, man. He fought like he was down early because Jones had unbelievable pressure, and he was really throwing a lot of strikes, getting his strike count up there, attacking Stephens. But man, Stephens still hung in there, and he threw bombs, man. I was pumped. I was feeling really good about this. He was in it, and especially in the second round, he actually had a couple punches that connected, and I thought maybe we could get like a miraculous knockout, but it just didn't seem like it was going to happen for us. And so Jones did great work, got the takedown round 3, decided not to risk it because he noticed how dangerous, Stephens was on the feet, and that was his only chance of winning. So great performance by Mason Jones, but also at the same time, Stephens really hung in there and really showed whether we were all Stephens fans at one point. And I don't know if he comes back now. I don't know if this was just like a special, one-time consideration that the UFC brought him back in. But either way, I guess let's see. One last thing I'll say here, though, it was great to just have the crowd behind him. Now, second fight of the night, Cameron Smotherman versus Saidi. We stupidly took Smotherman. Saidi was just too skilled, man. He had the total package, the grappling, the striking, and Smotherman just seemed kind of nullified. Like he couldn't really do much in the first couple rounds. Finally, he gets some space. He gets away from the grappling. And in the final couple minutes, he really showed who he is, this rising star. And he definitely threw some shots in there. He had Saidi a little bit worried, maybe a little bit hurt, but he didn't do enough to steal the fight. And so it was a pretty easy call. It was unanimous 29-28 Saidi. We're just going to keep moving on here. Now the big fights started occurring right at about this point of the night, because you got number 15 in the world at bantamweight Montel Jackson, who had been, I believe he had won like 5 straight coming into this, and undefeated Daniel Marcos. I gotta say, like, I wasn't like that jacked up about this fight, but we did enough. We both took Jackson. Nico and I took Jackson. He did enough to steal round 1. Round 2 was close. Round 3 also kind of got me worried because Marcos had the takedown, and I thought, sometimes a judge can sway it one way, but Jackson did more damage when they were on the feet. Marcos didn't really do enough with his takedowns, and so therefore you got to give it to Jackson, and now he's won like 5 or 6 straight, which is, a bunch in a row. He maintains his ranking, and now we'll probably get someone up in right around that 12 to 10 range there, and just another scary guy to look out for at bantamweight. Okay, now you get to Ponzinibbio versus D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, and we knew that this was going to be a great fight. Nico and I both took Ponzinibbio, even though Rodriguez at the time was the slight favorite. It seemed like it flipped, actually, now that you look at it. Ponzinibbio was in it, but Rodriguez hit him with that unbelievable punch in the first round that changed the whole fight. He almost, was able to even stop him, but Ponzinibbio is so tough that he hung in there, but he was really rattled. He was really on shaky ground. I mean, he looked like he was going to kind of be out of there. He got saved by the bell a little bit at the end of round 1. D-Rod definitely takes round 1. Then you get to round 2, though. Ponzinibbio kind of rallied. He ends up even getting a takedown. He might even have stolen round 2, even though it was very close. And you're like, okay, maybe this is 1-1. Holy shit, Ponzinibbio still has a chance. And then, boom, Rodriguez hits him with the unbelievable combination. I think it was 5 or 6 punches that completely puts him out. He hit him with that left again, and the announcers the whole time, Felder Bisbin, kept saying, oh man, that left is open. And then you kind of just see sort of what happened there. I think he was still even a little bit dazed from that first round and just could never recover. Rodriguez now, very impressive win. He had been a little bit down and out after those couple losses over the last few years, and now he's reset himself. He's probably going to be hovering right outside of the top 15. And then on the other hand, is like kind of Ponzinibbio, does he hang it up now? He's getting a little older. I mean, he could still be in some fights, but I don't really see now that he's going to be a top 15 guy, where D-Rod does look like he's moving up. Okay, so I wanted to save a lot of the time and energy for the main fights here because, okay, Bo Nickel, Rainier de Ridder, what a fight. I mean, this is performance of the night. Number 13 de Ridder versus rising star, wrestling phenomenon, supposed new UFC star, one of the best wrestlers in the division. Everybody's been hyping up hyping him up, Cormier, everybody. And we all thought it was Nickel's time to prove himself and to take on a top 15 guy. And boom, he kind of ran into a brick wall. Now, I will say, before I go into the whole RDR dominance, Nickel did get a takedown in round 1, but he just didn't really do much of when he was on top. And then it was like sort of a scramble back to their feet. He stupidly tries to go for a guillotine. He jumps back, and it was a bad move against a jiu-jitsu specialist like de Ridder. And it changed the whole fight, because if Nickel hadn't done that, and he got another takedown, maybe it would have worn on him. And so de Ridder got top position. And from then on, he sort of wore Nickel down. And, he did get through round 1. And then in round 2, all the bombs occurred. De Ridder just started clipping him with these knees and kind of hurt him with the knee early, and then came right after him, didn't give any space, hit him with some unbelievable punches, and then those crazy knees that ended the fight. So now de Ridder is propelled to maybe he's now the superstar. It was a 1FC double weight champ, middleweight and light heavyweight, and now he's showing with 3 straight UFC wins. Holy shit, this guy is a real fucking problem. And Nickel is look like, oh man, his star just got completely diminished because he didn't really seem like, even when he did get the takedown the first round, he wasn't being very aggressive. There was no sense of urgency. I didn't really see like any domination feeling from him at all. And so now I'm like, listen, he's still young. He's still going to be around. He just needs to, I mean, and yes, De Ridder is a big guy. I mean, we're dealing with a 6'4" massive frame. So it's easy for us to say, why didn't Bo take him down more easily? But I just didn't really look that since the Craig fight in that last one. He just really hasn't looked the same. Maybe he learns from this, but man, he's got a lot of work to do. And that whole nickel hype train is definitely derailed, sadly. Back to De Ridder. Let's look at this. Who does he get next? Because now that's the more exciting part of the story, shockingly. If you look at the middleweight division, now I got to say, like, there's a lot of guys sitting there. Hernandez is a great fight. Doleeds is a great fight. Cannonier is a great fight. Bahalio is a great fight. Whitaker is a great fight. But they're probably all trying to fight up. Now no one's probably going to want to fight down against this crazy guy. Maybe a Cannonier would, because he was coming off those losses before he sort of saved his career with that one win. Maybe a sliding Vettori wants to prove him stuff, and then he'll have to take on a De Ridder. Maybe a Brendan Allen who was sliding, because that'll be another amazing grappling showcase. But anyway, there's a lot of great fights for De Ridder. The big exciting storyline is, where does he go? Who does he get next? I love that whole situation now. Now we go back here. Like, I just got to say, though, I left a bit bummed and devastated because I was on the nickel hype train. We needed a new unbelievable star in the UFC. I believed in my boy here, and I'm a little bit disappointed. But what can we do? This is the state of the affairs in the UFC. It's a crazy business, and now it's De Ridder. All right, main event, Sandhagen, Figueiredo, 4 versus 5 in the world at bantamweight. This is big. I mean, definitely a great fight, but I'm a little bit surprised because Figueiredo, I mean, he looked good a little bit early in the first round. There was some decent strikes back and forth, and then he went for the grappling, which then Sandhagen kept turning on him. Once Sandhagen got top position in that first round, he just started raining crazy ground and pound and just completely took control of the fight. And weirdly, and even Bisping was saying it the whole time, was like, bro, get up. Like, what are you doing here? He's acting like he's just a jiu-jitsu player who has no skills, and he hasn't been a champion before. He's just sort of like laying there and letting himself get hit and trying to go for these like knee bars and leg locks. And I'm like, bro, get up. You know, he really just threw that whole first round away and got hammered because Sandhagen was coming with some seriously vicious ground and pound. And then because Sandhagen kind of was able to dominate him so much in round 1, it was more of the same in round 2. Right. And so Sandhagen then again reverses another takedown. He gets on top again. Figueiredo's, trying to go for different submissions and leg locks and things like that, trying to reverse it, trying to get out of it. And then Sandhagen gets in that 50-50 position, gets in some more punches, and then as Figueiredo's moving, boom, the knee pops. So it was sad to see that it ended that way, because it was such a great performance by Sandhagen. You don't want that to be marred by the injury. You also feel bad for Figgy, because of course we're all Figgy fans, and you don't like when they, because he could be out a whole year with something crazy like that. And he had done pretty well at bantamweight, surprisingly, because I thought he'd be a little bit small for the class, and he's actually had a pretty good couple fights. Even though he came off the loss to Jan, he still has looked pretty good. So now I think he might have to go back to flyweight. I don't know if he's going to be able to take on these top 5 bantamweight guys. And then with Sandhagen, the sky is the limit. I mean, he probably, I don't know if his next fight is a title, but it's very, very close. He's going to be in contention. If we take a look at it really quickly here, you got Sandhagen at number 4. Maybe he gets a rematch against Umar. Maybe he gets Jan. O'Malley, of course, is booked with Merab, and Sandhagen is saying, hey, he wants an instant title shot. He does look like he could be next in line there because of this significant victory. And especially since Jan and Umar have both lost to Merab. So if Merab wins, maybe Sandhagen's the better fight. I don't know, but at least he's definitely in the running. I think he's still maybe a fight away, though. I say he should probably have to take on a Jan, maybe do an Umar rematch. let's see what happens with Merab versus O'Malley, and then we can make our decision. But a lot of great stuff there. So anyway, just to recap, unbelievable performance from Sandhagen. Really propels him to maybe a title shot, where Figueiredo, now he's got to deal with the recovery from the injury. Let's see what happens. Or I don't even know if he stays at bantamweight, honestly, because after these 2 losses, it's kind of like, where does he go from now? I think maybe he goes back to flyweight. And so great night of fights, really exciting. I mean, again, I love that it's in Iowa, man, at a raucous arena. Fuck the Apex. I know we have to go back soon. So that was my updates. I hope you guys love these. If you disagree with my opinions, let me know online. But definitely, if you love the way that we go through everything in a very detailed fashion. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Okay, that's it for the week. If you love these shorter episodes, make sure to hit subscribe. And if you're a real MMA enthusiast, don't forget to check out the extended full Excuse the Savvy podcast episodes that come out every 2 weeks. So with that, thank you for listening to the Wally Report, the world's hottest podcast. Please subscribe, follow, comment, like, share, and blast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're blasting hard on the talk. And we're heavy on the gram at The Wally Report. That's at The Wally Report. We've been posting amazing video clips from our episodes on our social channels, so don't miss out. And please make sure to comment on Spotify, comment on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We love the comments and interactions with the fan. So stay savvy, fight fans.